Scoob is a major disappointment. It is a Scooby-Doo movie, but also a little more than that. It's actually the first movie in a planned cinematic universe for Hannah-Barbera characters, because normal franchises just aren't enough anymore, apparently. In its attempt to set up this universe, it has become Scooby-Doo in name only. And I don't even mean that as an insult, I'm just stating what it is. Yes, it does star Shaggy and Scooby in the main roles, but other than that, it's nothing like an episode of the show. More on that shortly. First, let's get to the positives. There are quite a few. The art style and animation are pretty good at representing the feel of the old series. It has a nice cartoony style to it. It's clear that the people behind it have a great respect and interest for all the properties involved. This is evident, for example, in a reworked yet faithful recreation of the Scooby-Doo Where Are You title sequence near the beginning, with a brief origin story sequence that closely represents what one would normally expect from a Scooby-Doo movie. Parts of the trailers even try to claim this sequence is the whole movie.
Guess our new movie is an origin story.
It's not. It's just the prologue. After that, it goes into some story about Scooby being pursued by Dick Dastardly from Wacky Races and must be saved by the Blue Falcon from Dynamite. This is where it becomes, as I said earlier, Scooby-Doo in name only. There are no mysteries, no monsters or ghosts, no guys in masks, just Blue Falcon versus Dick Dastardly. But then again, that title doesn't sell tickets, or streams or whatever. And in the spirit of synergy, there is also an appearance from Captain Caveman. Oh, and also Scooby is the descendant of Alexander the Great's dog, and therefore the only one who can save the world from Cerberus, the three-headed dog from Greek mythology. Remember that from the original? Alright, now I probably sound like I'm some kind of purist who's taking a cartoon too seriously and I'm just upset that it's different. I don't have a problem with any of this, it's just that one, I'm not sure if calling it a Scooby-Doo movie is false advertising or not, and two, it just isn't very good at what it strives to be. It is very much aimed at children. It isn't concerned with putting in things that are meant to appeal to adults. The plot is somewhat predictable and the humor is for the most part pretty basic. At points it feels like it may be trying too hard to be cool for the kids. One of the biggest examples is an appearance from Simon Cowell playing himself, although I'm actually not sure if kids even still know who he is. I know he's still on TV, but is he really as popular as he was 15 years ago? However, those who grew up watching these characters on Saturday morning will probably enjoy seeing them meet, but as someone who is no longer a kid and is too young to have seen any of these character shows except for Scooby-Doo, this movie had nothing for me. And even for viewers of that age, it's debatable whether or not a movie can rely on nostalgia alone. But then again, it is at least tolerable for parents. There's not a whole lot to make them actively dislike it. It's basically the kind of movie that if you saw in the theater with your kid, you wouldn't be invested in it per se, but not really annoyed either. And now that it's gone straight to video on demand, parents can put them on for their kids without even having to be in the same room. This is a mostly kids and Hanna-Barbera fans only movie that may have overestimated cinematic universe potential with this kind of script. But it's still far from the worst thing you can watch.